Oil fell on one piece headline, but the tankers have not come back yet. So what exactly did the market just price in? Oil just fell hard on reports that negotiations could reduce the risk around the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow sea passage connecting major Persian Gulf oil producers with the rest of the world. Brent, the main global benchmark price for crude oil, dropped to roughly $87 a barrel. But here is the strange part. A piece headline can move in seconds. Oil tankers cannot. Production cannot. Insurance, ports, storage, and refineries cannot. So what exactly did the market price in before the physical barrels came back? I built a small scenario engine to find out. Start with the map. In normal conditions, about 20 million barrels of oil and petroleum products move through the Strait of Hormuz every day. That is not just Iranian supply. It is a shipping lane for multiple major producers. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have pipelines that can bypass the strait, but those pipelines have room for only about 2.6 million additional barrels a day. The Energy Information Administration, or EIA, is the U.S. agency that tracks energy supply and prices. It estimates that production shut-ins across the region reached 11.3 million barrels a day in May. Shut-ins mean producers were forced to stop pumping oil because they could not safely move or store it. So even if every available bypass pipe were full, it would cover only a fraction of the disrupted supply. That is the physical problem hiding behind the headline. Supply shocks do not hit your gas pump all at once. The system uses inventories, meaning oil already held in storage, as a bridge. And that bridge is getting shorter. In the latest weekly data, U.S. commercial crude inventories, the oil stored by private companies, fell by 7.2 million barrels. They sit about 5% below the 5-year seasonal average. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the federal government's emergency oil stockpile, also fell by nearly 8 million barrels in 1 week. Regular gasoline was above $4 a gallon, and diesel was above $5. Those numbers do not prove oil must rise. They tell us the market is spending stored barrels while it waits for physical flows to recover. The question is how quickly that recovery arrives. The EIA gives us two useful reference paths. Under its near-term closure assumptions, with very limited tanker traffic and large inventory draws, meaning more oil leaves storage than enters it, Brent averages about $105 in June and July. In its longer normalization path, where shipping and production gradually return toward normal, Brent averages about $79 in 2027. These are different time horizons, so this is not a formal probability model. It is a transparent ruler. Put today's $87 price between those two anchors. It sits about 1/3 of the way from normalization to the stress case. In this simple lens, the price sits 32% of the distance toward the stressed price and 68% toward normalization. That does not mean a 32% chance of war. It is not a forecast. It means today's price already leans much closer to restored flows than to prolonged disruption. Then I vary both anchors. Even when I make the peaceful outcome cheaper or the disruption outcome much more expensive, the market has still removed a large part of the geopolitical premium, the extra amount traders pay when conflict threatens supply, before the physical system has fully healed. Now let me argue against my own warning. The market may be early, not wrong. Traders price the future, not today's tanker count. Demand has also weakened. The EIA changed its 2026 forecast from slight oil demand growth to a decline of 1.1 million barrels a day. U.S. crude production is near 13.8 million barrels a day. Exports are helping replace some disrupted supply, and some ships are still moving through the region. If negotiations produce a durable reopening, inventories stop falling, and the cost of transporting and insuring tankers returns to normal, $87 may not be optimistic at all. It may still be expensive. So what is the market actually pricing? Not guaranteed peace, and not permanent disruption. It is pricing meaningful progress soon enough to prevent the worst inventory squeeze, where stored supplies become dangerously low. That is a specific bet, and it can be tested. Watch 4 things: verified tanker traffic, restarted production, commercial inventory builds, meaning storage starts filling again, and the cost of shipping and insuring tankers. If those improve, the price move has physical confirmation. If they do not, oil moved on a political headline while the barrels stayed missing. That is the builder rule. Do not ask whether the headline sounds bullish or bearish. Ask what must become true for the current price to make sense. Full disclosure, I own Signal Finder Pro. This is general market commentary, not personalized investment advice. Subscribe, and next week we will put another headline through the machine.